People make a lot of comparisons with the Clinton elections of 1992 and 1996, most of which are completely off base. And the reason they're off base is because those were two of the strangest elections in American history. You had an extremely strong third-party candidate, Ross Perot, in 1992. He received 19% of the vote, which was just extraordinary. Only Teddy Roosevelt had done better among the third-party candidates. Perot was greatly weakened in 1996, but he still got around 8% of the vote, which is a lot for a third-party candidate. So the problem with using 1992 and 1996 is that the Democrat, Bill Clinton, won loads of states normally unavailable to a Democratic candidate. Good example in 1992 would be Montana. Montana normally votes 60 to 40 Republican, sometimes 65-35 Republican. But Bill Clinton was able to win it in a three-way race with about 38% because Ross Perot was so popular in Big Sky country. In 1996, Bill Clinton, who of course did not get a majority of the vote either time, he got 43% in 1992 and 49% in 1996. In 1996, running against Bob Dole, with Ross Perot taking just enough of the vote in Arizona and Florida, Bill Clinton was able to win those two normally Republican states. I frequently see people refer to the Democratic victory in Arizona, the Democratic victory in Florida, the Democratic victory in Montana from those years, but they really have no relationship to the normal two major party contest that we face in 2008 or did face in 2002 and 2004. And that's really the difference between the Clinton elections of 92 and 96 and the Bush elections of 2000 2004. Now you have to always put the asterisk next to the 2000 election because Al Gore actually won a popular vote plurality by 539,000 votes. That's no minor sum. That was by far the largest plurality ever won by somebody who ended up not being president. There were several others, obviously, in American history who had won the popular vote but had not become president. I think 2004 is the best example. It was a close, competitive race. President Bush won by about 3 percentage points over John Kerry. That was the best representation of red versus blue. Partly I may like it because even kindergartners can color that map. Everything's contiguous except for, of course, Alaska and Hawaii. The blue pieces are contiguous and the red pieces are contiguous, and it's pretty obvious to see the split, the social and cultural split that leads to the political split in America. And that's what we're dealing with as we look to 2008. We're trying to see, are there any of those Democratic states that Bill Clinton won with the split vote in 1992 and 1996 that Barack Obama could possibly win this year? The answer is yes. He's been competitive in Montana. I don't think he is anymore now that Sarah Palin's on the Republican ticket. But Nevada is a good example of a state normally Republican that Bill Clinton won that Barack Obama has a real shot of winning. The same with Colorado. It's become a competitive state. Even in a two-way race in 2008, Bill Clinton needed a three-way race to win it. Or will John McCain be able to basically replicate the 2004 map? Will he be able to get the vast majority of the states that President Bush got? He can afford to lose a couple of small states that Bush won. He'll still get over 270 votes, but he can't lose very much. He certainly can't lose Ohio. That's the key state that Bush carried narrowly in 2004. Obama will have to do the same in 2000, or rather McCain will have to do the same thing in 2008 in order to hold the presidency for the Republicans. But there are some changes. Obama will probably be able to win New Mexico and Iowa. Those were Bush states in 2004, red states in 2004. It's entirely possible, even if it's slightly improbable, that McCain will be able to win Michigan and New Hampshire, which were blue Democratic states in 2004. So we're going to have some back and forth. I think people will find that the map of 2004 is going to say more about 2008 than the Bill Clinton maps of 1992 and 1996. At least 42 of the 50 states from 2004 will have precisely the same coloration on November 4th, 2008. It may be as many as 45 of the 50 states. So after hundreds of millions of dollars will have been spent on both sides, after the candidates will have campaigned for 2 years nonstop, after literally tens of thousands of TV ads will have been aired by the candidates and the parties and independent groups, we're going to have probably 5 to 8 states changing sides and well over 40 remaining the same color.